We're at 5834 Satsuma Avenue, North Hollywood, California, performing a video sewer inspection through the 3-inch main line cleanout at the rear of the house. It is on the north side of the house to the rear. There's a 3-inch main line cleanout that is stubbed out the wall. We did not find any mainline cleanouts out front. And this is the garage area at the back of the house in the backyard. And this is the back sliding door to the house and the patio. And on the wall we have a 3-inch mainline cleanout. We're going to run through here and attempt to get all the way out to the city sewer if we can. It all depends on how many turns we have. The more turns we have, the more difficult it is. This appears to all be ABS plastic piping. We do have some debris in the line right there a little bit. Has some paper. Try and wash that through after. We're just going to kind of run kind of fast. It's difficult to try and get it out all the way. We're going to run it kind of hard and fast to get it out to the city sewer, and then as we're coming back, we'll pull back a little bit slower and really look at all the joints. Long pieces of pipe. And we should be getting out close to the front of the house. Got a lot of turns in the line. We're going to stop for a moment. We're going to turn on some water and see if we can have the water help us to get out further. Okay, we have water running, and we're going to attempt to try and push out again. A lot of times with the water on, it'll help to lubricate the line, just push out. And now we're out front. We're in cast iron. We're going to stop for a moment. We're going to locate the cast iron. We're going to actually pull back and locate where the cast iron starts. We've got ABS plastic here and transition to cast iron right there. So we'll take a look at that and mark that out. We're gonna have some squiggly lines while we're locating, and as you can see, even with the water running, you've got paper in there, and it's rough holding that debris back. It's not even washing it out with the paper, with the water running. So we'll mark this out. We have marked the cast iron out in the front yard, and now we're transitioning to vitreous clay. I believe right in this turn, right from here. Right when we hit this turn, we're making a turn, and it transitions right here from clay to, from cast iron to vitreous clay. And we got some cracks in that joint, but we don't have any root intrusion at this time. And we'll try and push out now all the way to the city sewer, and then we'll pull back slow. It's going to be hard to try and do anything and really view the joints as we're pushing out because of the fact that it's so far and so many turns. And we have some pretty try and push through here. We have some pretty large root intrusion at the bottom of this joint. We're going to try and push through. Yeah, some pretty good root intrusion there. I'm going to have a hard time trying to push through here. Hello. We may have to put a clean out in front to be able to get through that. Let me go check this thing and shower before I'm not running that shower too. Okay? Let me do it? Yeah, sorry. I can't do anything. Okay.
Where do you get those tiles? My tiles. You guys. They are Italian or Brazilian? They're Salvadoranians. Those are mine are Armenian or Italian. That was my profession. I learned in university. Arab is they know everything to make it to be cool. Especially based on
Okay, we have more water running, so we're going to try and push it. We're hitting the root intrusion in the bottom of this joint. We got another turn. We got numerous turns in this line, and we do not have a mainline clean out at the front of the house. So we're going to try and give it a moment, and we have the water running in the other bathtub in the hall bath, so we're hoping that with more water help us to push out a little more. And we have a very, very large root intrusion right here, which we're going to mark. We're going to mark this area real quick at 95 feet out, almost 96 feet out on the camera monitor.
want to
Okay,
keep the
we've
stuff running, right?
located this
Or do you want to
area.
shut it off?
Keep it running. We've located this area at 95, almost 96 feet out on the camera, which is in the front yard, as you're just to the left of the large tree in the front yard. Try again. We can get out to 99 feet at another turn, and we cannot get out any further. And we're going to shut the water down now, and we're going to take a look and see what we've got right there. May have another turn or more roots. You shut this, I'll get the hall. Hey, John, open this door after when you go around.
3014.
Is it locked on top? Okay, take it easy. Okay, I'm out right now at 98 feet on the monitor, and that's where that second flag is, by the tree. And we had a ton of water running, trying to help me to push out, and I mean, this thing won't even budge past here. I've probably gone through 15 different turns.
So in your experience, when you can't get through, it's because of the turn or because of what would be blocking it in your experience?
Because of trying to go through an area like this,
Right.
it's just so many turns.
Okay.
Once you get through so many turns, and I'm out almost 100 feet,
Okay.
it gets very difficult to try and
Okay.
do anything. That's number one. Number two, I've gone through some root intrusions too that are almost compacted. I mean, it's solid in here, and you'll see it in a minute. So I'm gonna start pulling back right now. We're at 99 feet, almost 100 feet, and we've got a turn right there as well. There's a little bit of root intrusion on that left-hand side.
Yeah.
At about the 9 o'clock area.
Can you guys feel okay?
There. That's not bad. not terrible. And then we got a joint. That joint has some offset to it. Where on the top you can see, you don't see the face of the pipe, but on the bottom and on this left side you see the face of the point. Yeah, and then we come back here, and that joint is about 80 to 90% obstructed at least, yes. That I've only got a little tiny hole at the bottom that I was able to push my camera through. Probably excavated. I don't doubt this is clay. It's vitreous clay. It's old. It's original. More than likely, the house is what in the late 50s, early 60s.
Correct.
Okay, it's going to have to be replaced to the curb area at least.
Okay.
But I'm more concerned even with the street because the street gets very expensive if you have to replace that. So we need to get out there, but this one's really bad, and especially with those large trees out there. I can't tell what the joint looks like because I can't even see the joint. Yeah, I can't see the joint because of all the roots. So that's one joint right there with all the clay. And then let's see. That joint doesn't look terrible. That joint doesn't really look too bad. Here too, I'll show you. That's a little bit tiny offset. I'm not too much concerned about that one. It's a little bit. It's shifting. But as we come back here, I can't point real great in the turn, but I can see the gap on that right-hand side. That gap is probably 3/4 of an inch. So it's separating. It's coming apart a little bit right there. And then I get into this turn, and I can see the cracks. I'll show you. I saw the cracks in the pipe. There's cracks up on the right-hand side just a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think there was some more cracks. Let's see when I come back. That joint doesn't look terrible. That joint's not too bad. That's closer to the house. Cracks, even more so. Well, this is kind of, but there's cracks right back on the right-hand side at about the 2 o'clock area. It was cracked over there, and it's cracked on the bottom down by about the 7 o'clock area. There's some cracks in that fitting. And it's just, this is more than anything, that's what's catching the paper, is the cast iron.
Gotcha.
You can see the rust buildup in the cast iron.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of buildup. And if you hydrojet that, more than likely, as old as it is, you're probably going to put holes in it with hydrojetting. And trying to run a snake, you're not going to really clean it out. Not on the cast iron. So we don't keep the cast iron just from the foundation area going towards the tree. About maybe 10 feet of cast iron that needs to be replaced. And then the clay, where you have that major root intrusion. Jake, you're about 90% restricted. Where you got 4-inch pipe, you got a hole about like this.
Front yard?
Yeah, it's compacted right by the tree.
Roots?
Yeah, it's right by the tree. So we're going to try and run through a clean out on the side over here real quick and see if we can get out further. See if we get lucky and if we can get through that 2-inch clean out.
Okay, you guys look at that?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of it from here back, this is all plastic. It's ABS plastic piping, which is good piping. I didn't see any issues in this piping. Everything looked like it was put together well.
How long does that last?
Your lifetime, my lifetime.
Okay. That works for me.
They think about
That works
200.
for
They
me.
think about 200 years.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what
they
you'll
say.
replace the rest with when you take
Yeah,
it out,
yeah, that's what I would put in. Yeah, or a poly piping, which is very similar. It's even thicker than the ABS. If we pulled a trenchless sewer, if you had to, we have to see what it looks like out there. You might just have to do a couple repairs or replace a short piece, or you might have to replace the whole. The rest of the joints out there look like. These joints look good. I didn't see any issues with any of the joints in here. Everything looked pretty good to me. Everything looked pretty tight. And this is back up underneath the house now. It didn't have, a lot of times, people put this type of pipe in, and they don't grade it properly. They don't support it, and they don't grade it properly, so you get belly in there and it holds water. I didn't see any of that in here. It looked like it was put in really well. They're long lengths, so they're generally 20-foot lengths of ABS plastic piping, and the only place you have joints is where the couplings are like that, or where you have a fitting going to a fixture, going to a sink, going to a bathtub, and they'll cut fixtures in. It's going off to the side.
Okay.
There's another turn coming back. Now we're making another turn.
Never thought to ask.
I'm getting some debris hanging up in this turn. I don't know why. I can't. We tried to flush it out. There's something in there that shouldn't be in there. I think it's a nail.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a nail in there. Got into the line. That's probably a 16 penny nail is what it looks like. I don't know if I can break it loose.
Oh, you got it. No.
I'm going in the, it's in the curve, so it makes it hard to try and push it. I think what needs to be done is to run a snake through here, and then ensure that you get the nail out, because if you don't get the nail out, everything's going to catch on there. Everything's going to catch on there, and it's going to back. Yeah, I'm going right over it. I'm not even touching it. If I was hitting it, I'd break it loose. It's just jammed into that turn.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and do the other.
Yeah.
The other way.
Okay. You got it. And then coming all the way back here, all these joints look to be in good condition. We're pulling back toward our main line. Where's the nail?
Which part?
I can give you a good idea. You want me to locate where it is? I can go above the floor and give you a good idea of where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do that. You can cut that as well. You can cut that pipe and pull the nail out.
It has to be in the addition.
Zero.
Right there.
Yeah.
27 feet.
Yeah, I'll mark that. You have the, okay, let me mark this thing for you real quick. Okay. Okay, we moved our equipment, and now we're going to try and run through this 2-inch main line, or excuse me, it's a 2-inch fixture drain line, and hopefully it's going to drop into the main really quick to where we can get into a 3-inch. We get into that cast iron quick, and we don't have too many turns. Hopefully we can get all the way through here and get out to the city sewer. This all depends on how many other root intrusions we hit and how bad they are. Okay, and we're on the side of the house by the gas meter, and we have a 2-inch clean out down at the bottom for one of the fixtures. And we're making a couple turns already. 3 turns there, and 4 turns. We're going out towards the front of the house, and then we should be coming up on the cast iron. There we go. Coming up on the cast iron, and we still got debris in the cast iron that doesn't want to seem to wash out too easily. And we have more debris right at the end of the cast iron. That cast iron's in pretty poor condition. Now we're running in and should be coming up on our root intrusions. We make our turn, and our root intrusion should be in the next 5-10 feet. Hopefully we can get through. Here's our major root intrusion right here. Had a real hard time getting through. We're hitting the spot again, same area. We may have an offset right here. I can't really tell with the water running. I'm going to try and push in, see if I can get through here and get out further, and then we'll shut the water down. Okay, we did get through it. And we have an offset and a separation at this joint. This past where the flag is at the tree, and then the next joint we have root intrusion at 56 feet out on the monitor, and we'll try and get out, and then we'll mark what we can on the way back. Can't really see the joints great with the water running. Has some minor root intrusion in that joint. Then we have root intrusion and pretty at this joint at 65 feet out, and we'll mark that one on the way back. And now we're going into water. It's not draining real well. I think we have maybe a large root intrusion there. We'll check that at 69 feet on the way back. We did get through it. So we're just going to push out right now. Hopefully we get to the city sewer. I believe we're transitioning from the 4-inch to the 6-inch, and we'll double check when we run out. We're making a turn. We should be heading down into the city sewer pretty quick here. Got some more turns, and there's our city sewer. So we are in our city sewer, and now we're going to try and get so when we pull back we can see the line better.
Okay, show it down, Mike.
See all the water flowing through here.
Yep.
You'll see your connection as I pull back a little tiny bit. Yeah, right?
Right behind you, man. Right behind you. Yep. I touch it, but
Close? No, you don't touch it. Don't blame you.
Need the gloves.
Yeah, it's close. Okay. So this is our city sewer connection right here. And this is an important connection too. And we have some debris right here, but it appears to be overpour. That's concrete slag from when they poured the joint. So I don't.
No, you good. I wanted to borrow him, but he's busy.
Okay, we'll be right there.
Yeah. No.
Okay, I don't see any issue with the joint, just overpour on the concrete slag. But that's very common. That should not pose any problem. And then we have a little minor offset. That joint still looks really good right there. Now this one is shifted. That one shifted quite a bit. You can see the whole face of the pipe right in the middle of the screen.
That's already
Where
on this side of this, on our,
this is in the street.
Oh,
This is in the street.
Okay.
So that shifted quite a bit. That really should be lined as much as that shifted. And you can see the water behind it. It's holding back water because that joint has shifted in there where it should line up like this. It's like this.
So when you have a problem like that in the street, can you line it without, you have to still go through the city to line it?
You need to pull a permit to line it.
Okay.
Yeah. But we line them all the time.
Okay.
So that can be lined. That's pretty severe. You can see the entire face of that pipe.
Yeah.
And just so, right now it's probably not posing a problem, but if you leave it that way, it's going to get worse. Then you can't line it anymore. Then you have to replace it. Okay, so we're still holding water back here a little bit back behind it because that joint is shifted and it's kind of making a little bit of a dam.
Yep.
Then the next joint, we've got a little bit of a shift in that one as well. That's got a little bit of an offset to it. You see the face of the pipe on the right, but not terrible, not as bad as the other one. I don't believe the 6-inch was in such a condition you couldn't line it. That joint looks to be pretty good. That joint looks to be pretty good, and that's transitioning now on the property line. That's a 4-inch pipe.
Not as loud inside, but pretty loud outside.
So at 74 feet, we transition from the 4-inch vitreous clay to the 6-inch vitreous clay. And we'll start pulling back in our 4-inch line, coming back. And that joint looks to be in pretty fair condition. Pulling back to the next joint. This joint's in pretty poor condition. That joint we have here, it appears we're holding back water or we're coming up. I can't tell. It may just be a belly in here. Try and see if I can pull back, get a better look at it. Got a little bit of a belly in this line right here, and we may have more slag right there holding back. That's holding back the water. It's kind of I can see the slag right there. Concrete.
Okay.
It's overpour on concrete when they pour the joints. The joints were put together years ago with concrete. So that looks to be overpour on the concrete from what I can see right here. And that, if it was an issue, that can always be taken out of there with a hydro jetter.
Okay.
But it doesn't appear to be broken, doesn't appear to be a major problem. There's no major roots there. Now we're coming back into a little bit of a turn again, and now we have some roots. And we also have a crack in the line. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, going from about the 11 o'clock area and coming down toward about the 6 or 7 o'clock area, there's a crack right here. And roots are growing in through, probably up higher, but we can't see it because we're actually in the turn a little bit. But that joint's offset quite a bit too. And that's going to be an issue. That's going to need to be repaired or replaced. There's quite a few joints in here that have issues, so it would be best to replace the 4-inch sewer line at least to the 6-inch, and then put a liner in 6-inch from separating anymore and offsetting anymore. That joint looks to be in pretty fair condition. It's a minor offset. That joint looks to be in good condition. Pretty good offset here, and root intrusion, and it looks like a crack as well just inside the hub of the fitting. There's a line right here going around about that far from the inside of the edge of the piping there as well. We should be coming back fairly close to where we have the major root intrusion out there by the tree. We have another offset separation right here, back into a turn. I can't really see if there's roots in that turn. Doesn't look bad. There isn't roots in that turn. And then we have a little bit of an offset, quite a bit of an offset right here at this joint. You can see the whole face of the pipe on the right-hand side. It shifted quite a bit. And then we're coming up, and we have root intrusion in the bottom. It's kind of hard to see, but you see some minor roots off to the left. Just difficult to see in that turn. You can see them now. There's some pretty good sized roots off to the left. You'll be able to on the video more than likely than you can here. Water's dripping, so it makes it difficult to see it on the camera. It gets on the lens, but there's roots in that joint. Then we have another offset right here, a little bit in this joint. Then we pull back, and we've got very large root intrusion that we showed before. Yes.
Okay.
That's right by the tree. And that pipe's cracked. I can see where the roots are growing right through the crack. And then we have a little bit of an offset here. Again, not terrible. We have a little bit of root intrusion. And then we're making a turn. And that turn, from what I can see, is just a combi used, or a Y used to make the turn. And that joint doesn't look terrible. Making another turn.
We made it.
And we have debris. We have paper and debris, and that's just hung up right at the edge of the cast iron. It's just caught on the cast iron.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, that's caught on the cast iron. And more debris caught in the cast iron. And we've run a lot of water through here. But it just doesn't want to wash the debris out. There's the rust hanging off the pipe in the buildup. So that cast iron definitely needs to be replaced from underneath the foundation of the house, from this ABS transition out to the clay, right out by the tree. And now we're pulling back to our clean out, and this is all the ABS piping that we had looked at before, and all this ABS piping appears to be in good condition. Didn't see any issues. Joint looks to be okay. That joint looks alright. And those joints look good. And that joint looks good, both of those. Now we're pulling back toward the end of 2-inch clean out. A mainline clean out needs to be put in front, and that can be done when this line is replaced to the property line, to the 4x6-inch transition. And we're going to recommend that the 6-inch play should be lined, because it has several offsets in it and separations. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.